Welcome to the official YouTube channel for the Colin Cowherd podcast. Go on, hit that subscribe button if you're new so you don't miss any of our great football content this season. All right, in a pretty surprising outcome, Philadelphia beats Dallas 24-20. I would argue that if CeeDee Lamb makes that catch, Dallas wins the football game. CeeDee Lamb was CeeDee Lame. He had a really, really bad night. But I thought Philadelphia did a better job with second half adjustments, and that's the ball game. I thought overall, I was pretty blown away. Now, Jalen Hurts comes into this game. He's got the better offensive line. He's got Saquon Barkley, and he has at least a head coach that he's very familiar with. They have a new OC. Kellen Moore's gone, but it was kind of an unimpressive kind of second half adjustment for the Eagles offensively. I thought they made great defensive adjustments to get pressure. But there's a big advantage. Jalen Hurts, O-line, Saquon Barkley, at home. And they looked unbelievable in the first half. 3 drives, 200-plus yards, 3 TDs. Eagles were flawless. And everybody points to, well, what about Micah? Well, the Cowboys could not stop the Eagles twice last year with Micah. So, and I'll give you an example. I saw this last year. Today, the Cowboys versus the Eagles without Micah, 1 sack and 5 quarterback hits. The Cowboys last game with the Eagles with Micah, 1 sack and 1 quarterback hit. Micah wasn't the difference. Okay, so in the first half, Philadelphia did this twice to Dallas last year, and they did it to Kansas City in the Super Bowl. That offensive line gets rolling. Saquon Barkley, those receivers, they didn't even use A.J. Brown, barely looked at him in the first half, and were up and down the field, with or without Micah. At one point, Chris Collinsworth said this is the Micah effect. Yeah, it's Micah's really, really talented, but I didn't think that was the ball game. I think what blew me away with Dallas, especially in the first half, Dak got excellent protection. They don't have a great running back room. They're not going to be a great run team, but they opened some rush lanes. And yes, Jalen Carter's absence changes Philadelphia's interior defense. There's just no question. He is the dominant interior defensive lineman along with Chris Jones in the NFL, the Chiefs. But I thought Dallas in the first half Dak had time. The wide receivers got excellent separation. George Pickens looks like he's a real asset, although he had a really, really bad penalty. It ended up the Cowboys fumbled the first turnover of the season, but it pushed Dallas back. And who knows how that drive transpires if they don't get pushed back on the Pickens penalty. But George Pickens is going to be an asset. That length, his ability to keep the ball away, the way he stretches out from defensive backs, because Philadelphia's got a great secondary. But I thought Dallas's O-line held up very well. Dak had a lot of time. I thought Dak played really, really well. They didn't move him much. He sat in the pocket. At this point in his career, he's a pocket quarterback. But I thought he was very, very effective. And CeeDee Lamb had 3 drops and the brutal drop, back-to-back drops on that last drive, and that deep ball was a beautiful throw by Dak. So I think if you're Philadelphia, you made excellent second half defensive adjustments to get pressure, and that ends up being crucial because Dak was way too comfortable in the first half. Meanwhile, he threw under duress in the second half. There were a lot of bang plays in the secondary. A couple of balls could have been picked. But CeeDee Lamb dropped 3 balls. A couple of balls could have been caught. So I came away impressed with Dallas. Philadelphia won, back-to-back tush pushes. I think if you put Saquon Barkley on the Cowboys and took away Saquon Barkley for the Eagles, you'd have a different outcome. I thought Saquon's ability to, that one-handed catch on a crucial drive, his just ability to escape. A lot of times Saquon doesn't even get credit just for picking up 3 yards on a play that should lose a yard. It's not his long runs that make him exceptional. It's the catches out of the backfield. It's taking, these 1-yard gains and making it a 3 to a 4-yard game. He is just a sensational talent. And he got Philadelphia out of little jams throughout the course of the game. Wiggle here, drop his shoulder here, make a one-hand catch there. Saquon was voted the best player in the league by players in a recent poll. He's just a sensational talent, and he does all the little things well. He can pick up a blitz, one-handed catch. But overall, I think if you're Dallas, you have to feel great. I mean, they've got one of the best kickers in the league. Their offensive line in the first half held up. I like the game plan. Dak looked comfortable. Their receivers created separation. Again, they're the road team. They're the team of the new coaching staff. George Pickens is a new player. Micah's not there. Trayvon Diggs didn't practice much. And Dallas had a very good performance. CeeDee Lamb catches the ball, they win the game. Football season's here, and if you want to go to an NFL or college football game, Game Time is the place for you. The Game Time app just gives you the advantage back to you, the fans. It's a hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few taps. I love it. Easy to use. The Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price, 100%. So they even let you preview your seat on the app. That's special. Plus, fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay every time. Take the guesswork out of buying professional football tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app. Create an account. If you use the code Colin, COLIN, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply again. Create an account, redeem code COLIN, $20 off, swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. So listen, it's game one, for a variety of reasons, is hard to make any sweeping general comment about. Jalen Carter out changes Philadelphia's rush defense. Secondly, you're tired. In the second half, I thought Dallas looked a little fatigued. Their defensive front, you got that O-line leaning on you, longer drives by Philadelphia. But overall, I mean, Dallas's D-line, Mozzie Smith was I wrote this down, inactive. So he's a bust. Micah's no longer there. Kenny Clark made a nice play. He's a nice addition. But, considering Micah's gone and Mozzie Smith is a bust, they have a little bit of depth up front. That's encouraging for Dallas. I'm looking at some of the numbers here. Philadelphia's second half offensive game plan, kind of uninspiring. Again, it's week one. New coordinator. I don't quite know how to feel about it. Philadelphia was, Jalen Carter spitting. They had four early penalties in the first half. Personal fouls. Philadelphia wasn't tight. And it almost cost them. Now, let me look at the numbers here real quick. I want to look at the total yards. Yeah, in the end, Philadelphia had 158 yards rushing. You don't lose a lot of games in this league with 158 yards rushing. But Dallas, Dallas has 24 first downs. Dallas averaged 5.5 yards a play. You got to feel pretty good about that. Dallas had more total yards, more passing yards. Themselves rushed for 119 yards, had more yards per play, more first downs. Were very effective, 7 for 11 on third down. Had only 4 penalties. Mike McCarthy's teams were penalty plagued. Only 1 turnover in the game. Now, Philadelphia, again, more rushing yards total, and in the second half, they pulled away in time of possession. They were flawless in the first half offensively. But overall, I would give the Eagles a B+ because they won. I would give Dallas a solid B to B+. New coaching staff on the road, first game. Last year, I just didn't like Dallas's offensive line. I thought there was real growth. If you're a Cowboy fan, I thought you had to be encouraged with the protection Dak Prescott got, especially in the first half. And Dak hung in there in the second half. He was under duress in that second half after the adjustments. I know I'm going on and on about Dallas. Maybe, if I'd have come into this game with a clean slate mentally and not feeling like Dallas is just going to be a mess, I'm going to have to revisit the Dallas schedule tomorrow on FS1. I was really impressed. And it's not like CeeDee Lamb didn't have a bunch of catches. I mean, he had great separation all night, and those are excellent corners for the Eagles. So Philadelphia, sloppy, maintained a lead, at home, won a game. But I feel differently about the Cowboys now than I did 4 hours ago. Well, I'm fired up to announce Hard Rock Bet as the Volume's new presenting sponsor. Everybody knows Hard Rock hotels and casinos are iconic for entertainment. Well, now the Hard Rock Bet app brings more energy and excitement than ever to the world of sports betting. What does it mean for you? Well, here at the Volume, you'll start to see us use Hard Rock Bet's lines when talking about the biggest games, college or pro. We'll give you all the crazy stats from Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub, which is right there in the app. Plus, we'll be taking the show on the road, doing live broadcasts, meet and greets right from the Hard Rock properties down in Florida. The Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app's the only legal sportsbook whenever you're in Florida. It's also live in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Illinois, and Colorado, with more states coming soon. So right now is the perfect time to sign up. All you have to do is place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll score $150 in bonus bets on top of your winnings. That's $150 more for you to bet this football season. If you're in New Jersey, you can also hit the Hard Rock Bet Casino app. It has all the same casino games you'd play at one of their properties. All your favorite games from Atlantic City. Practically everything you want to bet across every sport. All in the same top-rated, nearly 5-star app. So head over, sign up today. Join us as we get this party started with Hard Rock Bet. And roll with us all football season. Let's address, before we go, the Jalen Carter spitting moment. First of all, it's idiotic. Dak did spit first, but was further away and spit to the ground. Don't get either, but Jalen Carter has to know better, and that's the way it always works. It's always the second guy that gets caught. I mean, NBC didn't catch Dak spitting until later in the game. And they didn't even address it until later in the game, and they saw it. So, Dak spit more down. Jalen Carter gets closer, spits at Dak, and you're going to get ejected. I just thought overall Philadelphia was loose. But we talked about this today on the Herd. It's such an emotional team. I mean, they've got their bodyguard and Sirianni. There were some personal fouls. That's Philadelphia, their talk radio, their fans, the intensity, opening the season in Philadelphia. It's just, and here's Jalen Hurts, that reservoir of stoicism, calm, mature. I'll tell you, Jalen Hurts on that, final drive to seal the game. I didn't love Dallas not having like a spy on him. He's such an effective runner. Overall, I thought the Eagles' second half coaching adjustments were better than Dallas, and that falls on Brian Schottenheimer. But I came into this game with such a low sense of what the Schottenheimer staff could pull off. I was just almost blown away that they played a really strong first half. But there was a lot. It was Philadelphia. It was a lot of emotions. They're Super Bowl champs. They're feeling themselves. They're spitting. There's ejections. There's a ton of penalties. They had 9 in the game, 4 very quickly. It was an unpolished, unrefined effort. But this is why Philadelphia, this is what the Eagles do. I talked about it today. They do things that bad teams do. I mean, they literally have to restrain the coach. They're firing a Super Bowl winning coach. They spent money on a running back who'd had a history, Saquon Barkley, of injuries. They signed Carson Wentz, they get rid of him. I mean, they do things bad teams do, but they're so obsessed with winning and they're so willing to put it out there and take big swings, and they draft so extraordinarily well, they just overcompensate for it. But again tonight, in a very emotional Philadelphia team, here is the highest EQ in the league, Jalen Hurts, head down, stoic, mature, wraps it up in the end, the final drive, the first down, the win, and that's what Hurts and the Eagles do.